welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the counselor's office. Scholars, it is that time where we get back into that episode of which game is dying today, and it's Destiny. Destiny's dying. And before anyone comments in the comment section, Destiny's been dying for 10 years, and you're right, it has. It's been slowly decreasing. If you look at the data, historical context matters. Destiny has been dying. It is the lowest population it's ever been. In fact, on the screen we have from Destiny Bulletin, Destiny 2's player count is reaching an all-time low, with players reporting difficulties in finding teams for raids, dungeons, and other activities. Let's just dive into the article and talk about it. But let's be very clear right now. I don't want Destiny to actually die, right? I love the game, and that's why I'm so openly critical of Bungie, why I'm so adamant that something is done, is because it's a game that I actually enjoy and love, and I want to see improvement. So yes, I'm going to be more vocal. I'm going to be a thorn in the side of those who are running the shop. We're doing a bad job with the game. So just put that out there. Oh, you just want it to die. You're always complaining. You're never happy. No, I was happy with Into the Light. Remember, a lot of people don't completely forgot how good that little pocket of Destiny was. Into the Light was just chef's kiss. At least I enjoyed it, and I gave a lot of praise. I also gave some criticism on how it was run, but overall, it was some good times. And unfortunately, we are back into the dark times of Destiny. So we have a article by The Game Post. Destiny 2 players struggle to find fire teams as population drops to an all-time low. Yes, it is becoming, here's the thing. This impacts everyone in the game. New players. If all the veterans leave, what do you think is going to happen to new players? You think people are going to, all the people who are normally willing to Sherpa and teach new players, you think they're going to be around? No. PvP. You think all the dedicated PvP players are going to stick around? No, it's full of cheaters, and that's pretty much what you see right now. The article says Destiny 2 player count is reaching an all-time low, with matchmaking becoming increasingly difficult. Destiny 2, once a shining example of a live service. Why is it people just fondle the balls of Bungie? You want a shining example of a live service game? Fortnite, Warframe. These are perfect examples of live service done right. In fact, I would say Fortnite is the pinnacle of live service because everything is free. Lego Minecraft, racing, Rock Band, their battle royale. Now they're doing CSGO, and they have Forge from Halo, all the different free games you can make, like Prop Hunt and stuff. And it's 100% free. You do not have to pay anything. They have special events. They have Mariah Carey coming out of the ice, I guess. It is crazy the amount of free that you can get from Fortnite. And I wish I enjoyed Fortnite more. I have fun with it, but it's not something that I would main. And that's the thing. A lot of people main Destiny because it has a feel, it has the gunplay. It has something that isn't replaceable right now. If there was another game that had the same feel or similar feel to Destiny in the same gunplay, Destiny would be cooked. Let's just get that right. The reason Destiny has survived and not truly died is because there's been no real competition in the one-for-one. Warframe is in the similar genre, but it's still its own thing. If there was a true Destiny competitor, Destiny would have died. Destiny, the shining example of live service gaming, is facing what might be the toughest challenge yet. Bungie's flagship game has seen a steady decline in its player base over the past months. I would argue over the years. Final Shape did see an increase, but then it's already, the amount of people who played the Final Shape has gone and left, right? If you're looking at pre-numbers, this is even lower than Lightfall numbers. And people hated the year of Lightfall. I did. I thought it was the worst year we've ever had. And by numbers and data and statistics, it's actually not. This is going to be the worst year we've ever had in Destiny history. The release of episode Revenant already saw the lowest day one population, and it keeps getting worse due to bugs, glitches, content. Players have been vocal about their frustration, with many feeling let down after the hype of the Final Shape. It's clear that the game's post-expansion episodic content release has failed to live up to expectations for many players. I think the way that first off, we didn't even know what the future was. When episode Echoes was ongoing, we had no idea what the hell to expect in the future, which is the biggest problem. If no one feels like there's a future, why continue playing if you're a veteran, right? New players, you're confused of what's going on. you're like, okay, do I want to start playing this game that seems like it's just dying? Which is current now. Like, why start playing a game where people are struggling to find raids and matchmaking? Like, oh, well, I'm not going to play this. There's no one really playing. Then I can't participate and do the things that I paid for. So no one's going to want to pay. Also, let's just point out, this is the lowest record we have. It's a holiday event currently going on, and the game is on sale. It has never been easier to jump in the game right now, and this is the lowest player count we have. No one wants to buy and play this game, and it keeps getting worse due to bugs, glitches, and content. I think the bugs is the most noticeable, especially for veterans. It may not be the biggest deal for some casual players, and then it is, right? It depends on who you talk to. A lot of people have these rosy sunglasses and like, life's great, it's okay, bugs happen. But then you have the veterans who've seen the decline. Like, we've been through bugs, we've seen bugs. Like, I can still remember Curse of Osiris, and we had the Prometheus lens. Anyone remember laser tag trials? I do. Our Star Wars. Yeah, like, we've had bugs, we've had crazy things happen, but we've had that to now where you can't even actively play the game. Everything's bugged. In fact, this holiday event, The Dawning, Bungie has unlocked so many different triumphs because it's so broken. Instead of fixing it, they're like, just screw it. Just here, have it. Like, here, just, we're done. Don't even worry about participating and trying to do the thing that is the main part of the activity, like the triumphs. Just want to unlock all the crap. Here you go. Here, have your cookies and shut up. Like, I'm sorry. It is the bugs with the new content, the dungeons, everything has made everything just even worse. And so on top of like the perk gate and then the tonic gate, all these little gates of things that come up that are so broken, people have lost faith in the driver of the game. And I know we're talking a lot, but I really want to hone in this conversation of what the main problem is. Why is it that people are leaving, and what's different from now to like last year? Players have been vocal about their frustration of many being let down after the hype of the final shape. Yeah, we talked about that. It's clear that the game's post-expansion episodic content released has failed to live up the expectations for many players. Long-standing issues like repetitive gameplay loops and delayed quality of life updates have further eroded players' morale. On top of that, the recent layoffs at the company didn't help either. All of this has led to a steep decline in the game's player base. Destiny 2 fans are struggling to find other players with low population. With fewer players logging in, finding fire teams for group activities like raids and dungeons has become a struggle. Matchmaking queues are taking longer than ever, and even tools like in-game fire team finder and Discord LFGs aren't helping. Many posts in LFG now demand experienced players only, shutting out those who are new or unfamiliar with the content. This is not new. I want to be fair. I'm a fair guy. This is not new. I mean, all the way back in Destiny 1, must have Galahorn. I remember being on Xbox like, hey dude, do you got Galahorn? Yeah, I got Galahorn. Yeah, okay, we're gonna fight orcs. Have your Galley guns. Have your touch of malice. Do we have Titan bubble? Oh, you're not a Titan. Get out of here. What? Well, you're a hunter? You're a hunter? You're not a Sunsinger, warlock, or a Titan? No, get out. We only do warlocks and Titans. Get out. Yeah, I've been through it all. If you want to know, I'm a dinosaur. I know what it was like. But it is going to be worse. You're going to have a bunch of new people who are buying the game or trying. Like, this is where the new people, the new players are going to have this come to Jesus moment where they're just ignorant of like, oh, things are fine. I don't know why people are having a big issue. And then they find out that all the people who normally would help them are gone. And then you find the communities who are still playing and people who are not going to be very kind to you, kick you and remove you. And it's going to cause a lot of friction. So those new players are now having a worse experience because the people who normally would be loving and playing this game and willing to reach out and help new players are gone. And now you have only the sweaty people who only play the game with people who know how to play the game. It's a bad news bears. Reddit user Flayless summed up the situation, was trying to do a Guardian Salvation. It took forever to find a team. I had to use a combination of Discord LFG and the in-game fire team finder to find a team. And even then, it took a pretty long time. This sentiment is echoed by many others who feel that the shrinking community is making the game less playable. Destiny 2 player numbers are dropping fast. According to data from CB Bro, Destiny 2's total hourly active player count during peak hours hovers around 60K across all platforms, while it drops roughly 35K to 40K during off-peak hours. At the time of writing, here's the breakdown of hourly active players across the platform. Oh, I love that people are like, I had someone on Twitter who was like, 50K hours is pretty good for an old game. And then you look at Warframe, who just on PC alone is doing 80K. And yes, they just had a new release, but if you look at the historical context of Steam, they have held a decent amount of players. Like the bleeding from Destiny compared to Warframe is significant. Like Warframe has barely had any bleeding, and that's because they have a strong dev community where the community is involved with the devs. The devs are like playing the game. They're streaming monthly, weekly, and they're also the Reb of Warframe actually cosplays. Like she is a nerd, and that's the kind of interaction that we don't get from Bungie. And when you build and foster a community where the devs are actively involved in the community, not just like I just posted this thing on Twitter, like, oh, the Destiny 2 team made a funny joke about my tweet. Oh man, they really noticed me. No, like a true community. They are actively involved. And that is part of building a community. Obviously other games like Fortnite, I don't think the developers do that. But when you're talking about a niche, right? Warframe isn't the most popular game compared to like Fortnite, right? It is its own genre, its own little thing, and its own little world, and it has its dedicated player base. Destiny does too, except the dedicated players are now leaving, which is a problem. You want to keep all the dedicated players. You want to build that tight-knit community, but when you lose that, you lose the game. And as you can see on the screen is the player count. People love to say, oh, it's always like this. Destiny's always going down. But if you look at the data, it is the worst it has been in a long, long time. And any good game, and here's the thing, any good game isn't going to have this up and down battle of, are we keeping players? Are we losing players? Keeping players, losing players. Good games will keep a steady pace, unless you're a single player game, which makes sense. You're going to consume the content and leave. But we're talking about live service. You want to keep your player base alive in the live service game. For Steam specifically, SteamB reports that the game is peaking at under 200K concurrent players. These figures reflect a significant decline compared to the game's heyday when player count regularly exceeded 80K. It also, and that's not including all the other platforms. Other platforms, there was a massive increase, and it's like 90% of the player base is gone. There are multiple factors to Destiny 2's declining player population. The conclusion to the 10-year saga, persistent bugs and glitches combined with the grind-heavy gameplay have left many players frustrated. Bungie's handling of these issues, including repetitive seasonal content, has further alienated the community. Additionally, the release of massive new games like Marvel Rivals and Path of Exile 2 has diverted players' attention, pulling them away from Destiny 2 and offering fresh alternatives to explore. Here's the thing. It doesn't matter how old a game is. If a game is considered live service and they're continuing to make content for the game, and I think Warframe is a perfect example of this, where Warframe came out in 2013, they didn't make a Warframe 2, they just kept it going, and it's seen massive success. It's had ups and downs, but nothing compared to what Destiny has gone through. And I am shilling for Warframe because Warframe is a good game with a good community and has good devs and good leadership. Everything you want, everything that is in Warframe, I want to see in Destiny. I think if Destiny had what Warframe got going for it, I think Destiny would be significantly better, and other people would be drawn to Destiny. Destiny has the potential. It just lacks the drivers. If we had the same drivers from Warframe taking over Bungie, oh my God, we would see a night and day difference. This game would be popping. And yes, there are other games that are fighting for attention, like Marvel Rivals, Path of Exile 2. Again, one is free to play. Path of Exile 2 is just a very popular game, and I've heard it has its ups and downs, just like any game. Rivals, completely free. You can play it right now, and I do want to try it out. But the problem is you're going to always have competition. There's always going to be the new. There's always going to be the new game. And the fact that Destiny is struggling to compete for time, gamers would rather play these other games than Destiny, and that's a problem. If you cannot compete in a space where there's always new games, there's always new fresh experiences. If you cannot compete with that, you are doing yourself a disservice, but you're doing a disservice to all your players who are dedicated to you. You're just doing it wrong. I'm sorry. I know there's people out there who want to defend Bungie, but I'm sorry to tell you that this is not going to end well for anyone. Players haven't been shy about sharing their thoughts. One Reddit user said, the content is just stale. The formulaic season grind is stale. The events are nothing but Tendium distilled. Another user, GZA, point out that the players base struggles. The player base is at or near on all-time lows. Most players don't rate at all. Adding to the frustration, Mimashi commented on the unwelcoming nature of LFG posts. I'm a new player, but I don't think most of the people raid. Need someone to teach, and 90% of the posts I see are strictly hey, know what to do, or kick. And I think that's always going to be part of Destiny. And I think it's fair. I'm going to be honest. If I want to do my dailies or weeklies, it's mostly a reset. I don't want to teach people. I don't. And so I'm going to put exactly what I want. If you don't like it and you join, I'm going to kick you. I think it's fair. However, when you dwindle the population to where all the people, like I said, who are willing to help, they disappear, the new players just get screwed. And it's not cool. And that's Bungie's fault. It's not the people who want experienced players' faults. They're playing the game how they want to play. It is 100% Bungie's fault. Meanwhile, Day Man 2 highlighted the struggle of finding players in matchmaking activities. I've been trying to play Hardwire Supremacy today and never got a full game. Realistically, I don't think the population will ever rebound. We beat the final boss in June. A lot of people left and won't be back. Many in the community agree that unless Bungie makes significant changes soon, the situation will only get worse. Destiny 2's decline in population is a wake-up call for Bungie. And I absolutely agree. This is a wake-up call for everyone, even the ones that are like loyalists to Bungie. This is a wake-up call. With fewer players, longer matchmaking times, the growing frustration among the community, it's clear that the game needs a major shakeup. Whether the upcoming Codename Frontiers expansion can restore the player base to its former glory remains to be seen. What are your thoughts on Destiny 2's current state? But wait, there's more. We've started the conversation once again, ladies and gentlemen. What's the answer? People are saying Destiny 3. Here on Twitter, I'm doing the full screen for your beautiful faces. Cathalion posted, the only path forward for Destiny 3 is otherwise the incremental downward trend. He's saying that Destiny 3 is the path forward. If not, we're going to continue seeing a trend downward, layoffs, and IP will die. We'll continue this conversation in a minute, but let's see what other people are saying too. Here we have, let's go to this post. I love the toxic positivity from people. We have former CM Hippie. Don't count Bungie out. Look, historically, the dev team always comes back stronger. If you enjoy the game, enjoy the game. You never know what's going on behind the scenes. And obviously, you see a lot of toxic positivity. Been hearing this for 10 years, and most studios would have shut their doors with Curse of Osiris. Sure, I can't disagree there, but Bungie's good at saving their asses. My point is, I feel like since Reach, we are just expected to keep letting Bungie cook. It's going to be exhausting narrative. I get it. The mentality comes from a place of love from so many people are invested in this series that they just want to feel it matters to the company as much as it matters to them. Unfortunately, it's been proven that the margins going up is all that does. Yeah, that's exactly my thoughts. Now, we have a post. Bungie shouldn't need their backs against the wall to whip out another banger. It's not fair to everyone. Players, dev, getting tired of it. And here's my honest response. We have heard this constant sentiment like, oh, don't count them out. They're going to come back. And it's always, they're like, when they're at their worst, they're at their best. Why is it that the game has to be dying for Bungie to crank out crazy content? Last year, with the Lightfall and the seasonal content, which was just the seasonal content was ass. So much so that they scrapped seasons. And we saw a downward trend. In a desperate ploy, Bungie releases Into the Light, which was a banger. Pantheon, banger. Bringing back the exotic missions for Outbreak and Whisper of the Worm, banger. We got the multiplayer map packs, which we got 3 good maps that I like, and I think most PvP players like. Banger. We got guns that were actually bangers. Now, whether you like attunement or not, that's a different thing. Like, some people liked it, some people didn't like it. I liked it toward the end when it had an increased chance. It was a little more forgiving. And all just the onslaught, the raining of loot, banger. Overall, we saw a massive increase. We saw goodwill being earned because Bungie was doing a lot of free things. We did a great update. And then it seems like Bungie decided we're going to take all that goodwill and we're going to dump it in the trash. And before that, we saw this, oh, their backs against the wall. Remember Destiny 2 when it first came out? It was a dumpster fire. Then Forsaken came out. Banger. Then we continue on. Their backs are against the wall. Shadowkeep wasn't that good. Beyond Light wasn't that good. But we got Witch Queen. Banger. And then we got Lightfall. Dumpster fire. Gaslighting the community thinking it's going to be this amazing thing. It's just, we consistently see this pattern of they put the most effort when their jobs are on the line, but never consistent. There's never consistency across the board where you can expect everything to be, of good quality. I don't think everything has to be over the top. I don't demand everything be Forsaken level. I don't demand everything be like the Final Shape, which I still don't think Final Shape was nearly as good as like Forsaken. That's just my opinion. I don't expect like over the top quality, but I just want consistency. If everything was like Witch Queen level, I'm okay with that. I think Witch Queen is a level that I think is fair, that I think you're getting your money's worth, and it was a good story and it had just good content. It had decent amount of quantity of content, but the quality was there. And it's just, I know we're talking a lot about it, but it is just, it's baffling to me that people are so adamant into defending like, oh, the population always gets low. It always happens. And I think it's just the biggest cop out and dismissal of the bigger issue. And here's the thing, it only hurts them. It only hurts you if you defend like, oh, it's nothing. No, you need to be vocal. Everyone, if you enjoy Destiny 2, you need to be vocal because your community, our community, is dying. And if it dies, you don't get to play. It hurts your game. Like, I just don't understand people who are just so dismissive of the overall issue. It's just crazy. So let's continue on the Twitter train. I'm doing this live because I don't want to have to copy and paste a bunch of pictures. All right, so we have Delilah. I'm not for sure who this is. Star Wars nerd, Twitch partner. So a Twitch lady, Twitch girl. The sad thing about it is you actually can't have a civil conversation with anyone about the state of Destiny or your opinions on the future without being people attacking you for it. Absolutely. This is probably the most brutally honest truth, is that people don't want to have a conversation. They don't want to hear that the game is dying. Because let's go full face cam for this. Why do they do that? Because it's based on their personality. I can't accept that my game's dying because that's my life. My life sucks so bad that Destiny is my personality. People literally lose their mind the moment you point out that the game is dying or that there's a problem with the game, because it's like almost like you're insulting their looks or their existence. What's that? You talk about Destiny? That's my life. That's my identity. You can't do that. I identify as Destiny. You can't do that. I usually post and a thought on Destiny and immediately mute it. I know I'm right and don't care if folks are mad. Also the same. Sad to see the current state of the game and community. Super duper agree. People don't understand that building with rotted wood will only cause the foundation to fall. Make a D3. No character transfers. No more returning loot. A completely fresh start. Let us carry over emblems. To me, and many other emblems show many moments and memories on our journey. I mean, I personally don't care. It's whatever. I have zero confidence that Bungie can successfully pull off a sequel at this point. I think Destiny just needs to end, but a lot of people don't want to hear that. This is option 2, and I don't think you're off base. What do we gain with Destiny 3? Not trying to rage bait you. I'm genuinely curious as to what the upsides would be outside of a new Shining. New player onboarding for D2 is bad. Bringing back lapsed players is bad. This screenshot is largely parroted feeling. It's the only way to bring me back fully. And I do agree with this. I have seen many people say, I'm not coming back, whether a new player, returning player, or just a veteran. They don't want to come back unless there's a D3. And I've already talked about my feelings on D3. I think Bungie can't do it. I don't think they're capable. They can barely run the ship that they're on now, let alone a new ship. And if they were going to do Destiny 3, it needs to be a real MMO. I think that's the only way to make Destiny better and improved in any way is get rid of the engine they're running is ass, get rid of it, and then go straight into a real MMO. Like really spice it up. We already have this mobile version. Take aspects from the mobile version, learn from the mobile version, and make a real MMO. I think they can do it. If a mobile game can make a breath of fresh air for a lot of people who enjoyed it, if they can do some creative things, then why can't Bungie? I'm just saying that. Like, why can't Bungie? Yeah, I'm literally never coming back to D2. They could bring back Raph at this point and it wouldn't matter. Would have worked 2 years ago, but not anymore. I'll come back when we get Destiny 3 or Destiny Rising on PC. I'm literally never picking up D2 again. D2 stands refuse to realize so many players feel like this and refuse to see how that hurts the franchise. The dedicated audience dwindles. I stuck with them through Osiris, through token farming. None of that remotely compared to how I feel about the game now. They completely and utterly ruined it. I think that's a good point. Holy crap. And this is what people don't understand. Like when you have veterans like me, we remember the token and the blue and 2 tokens, right? Or whatever. I don't know if it's been so long I've memed on it. You're literally just like, that was a selling point. Literally on a live stream, that was the selling point. You get 2 tokens and a blue. Wow. That's a super, like, that was the loot back then. 2 tokens and a blue. Wow. Like, we've grown since then, but the sentiment is still the same. The loot itself is as lame as the blue and the 2 tokens. Like, we've not grown. When you look back historically to that context to where we're at, we're in the same position. We're still doing public events. We're still doing lost sectors and generic Andy tasks that have no value. They're just chores, and you're not even getting substantial loot that you actually value. We are going full cycle of Curse of Osiris, whether you realize it or not. It's crazy. Personally, I think the game design-wise is at its peak. The raids, the dungeons, builds are all phenomenal. I just think it's literally falling apart at the seams on the technological end. Bugs run rampant. The performance of the game is just getting worse. 3 would be good. Took them lying to leaning there. Post-Forsaken, it was all downhill after that. Peak Witch Queen brought some hype and community back to Lightfall. Being the follow-up murdered the game then there. What the hell? Why, though? The only thing wrong with Lightfall was the story. First, no, there was a lot more worse. There was just the loot wasn't there and everything else was garbage. Forsaken to be online were great. Witch Queen was also great. Lightfall introduced Strand and much better build crafting than pre-Lightfall. And artifacts also massively improved the created seasonal metas. Lightfall was such a massive drop in quality, especially raid-wise, and everything that followed. Beyond Light was carried hard by its new subclasses. It was also the same time Sunsetting was introduced, so major L there. Sunsetting sucked, but the DC was amazing. Witch and Wish had the best seasonal content since Menagerie. Crota rework was a massive improvement. Into Light was a massive improvement to the game. Rube Nightmares wasn't even bad either. It was just too easy. What would... as you can see, there's a lot of back and forth. We're going to argue about content that's asked, but okay. What would Destiny 3 look like that hasn't been the same as the last 4 expansions? Genuine question. Upgrade engine, time skip for new story, overhauled gameplay and mechanics, etc. How can you be a creator not see what a new title can bring that being constricted by a current title inhibits? Agree with this. New engine for graphics and mechanics would be exciting. Does not matter to me if that is a sequel or a major revamp of the live service. Benji, I've been saying this for years, and even then, to be honest, I don't think D3 would save Destiny either. My faith in Bungie left years ago. This is a fair point. Bungie isn't Bungie. Oh shit, here they come. Put your hard hats on, boys. They aren't going to like this one. Even though I'm right, I'm going to mute this thread and my 100 bucks off of it. Base scoff. Truth. A little off subject here. Okay, I'm not gonna. Destiny 1 was a masterpiece. I don't know about that. The vault glass is untouchable. Destiny was so interactive their PvP was so good. I don't know what happened. Okay. Sometimes I wish I would just end. It would just end so I wouldn't be Hawkeye every few months. I'm tired of wishing for this game to be something it probably will never be. This is the Destiny 2 community right now. This right here. This is it. Every time someone's trying to dismiss the problems in the game and act like everything's great, this is what I imagine. Don't give up hope. Listen, well, I could sit here and we can go through the comments, and maybe one day I'll go through the comments. And I have a different video where we're going to show a lot of we're showing the opposite side. These are the people who are the truthers, the people who are based in reality. I'm going to do a lovely video showcasing the copium of Bungie defenders, ball fondlers, people who don't live in reality. Look forward to that video. But my overall thought is we are pointing out the failures of this game because we want Bungie to realize that we're not stupid. You can't just give us these gaslighting statements of just, we hear you. We understand. We're going to get through this together. We know we need to build trust, which is the same crap we've heard for years. And now new players are starting to realize the same thing. They're starting to like, wait, you guys had the whole issue with the perk gates and the tonic gate, and now I can't even play the game. These new players are starting to get annoyed because they can't even play the base game. Like, when your new players start realizing this and they're no longer defending you, because I've had a lot of like, I'm going to say it, they're ignorant. Not because they choose to be ignorant, it's just they don't know. If you don't know, you don't know, right? And so you have these ignorant new players who are trying to defend Bungie in the game, but now they're coming to the realization with all the bugs and the crap going on, the fact that we've got crickets and it takes months for things to be resolved. People who would love to spend hours playing this game, they're like, screw this, I'm going to go play Marvel Legends, or Marvel Rivals, should I say. I'm going to go play Path of Exile 2. I'm going to go play Warframe. I'm going to play Call of Duty. I'm going to play Fortnite. Like, you have all these other games that are competing for time, and that's Bungie's fault. They're literally giving the competitors, like, here's our player base. Take them. Just take them. Again, I do these kind of videos because I'm very passionate. Not because I'm like, I got my pitchfork out ready to set Destiny on fire. And here's my brutally honest truth. I want Destiny to be good. I don't care if it's Bungie that does the ship. If they can do right by Destiny and turn the ship around, great. But if you're telling me that we have to get rid of Bungie for that to happen, I'm all board for it. I don't care if people lose their jobs. I don't care. It happens every day. I choose not to go consume from a restaurant or a fast food chain, and that might lead to someone losing their job. I'm not going to feel like I can be empathetic, but I'm not going to feel guilty. That's not my job as a consumer to make sure that someone has job support, to make sure that someone keeps their job. Sorry. And it is a very unfair world where the leadership is the last to get punished. And guess what? I've dealt with that. I have my own woes in my own career, and based on leadership, higher ups, people who I don't even know, I never seen, and yet they're making decisions for me and my job. And even before that, when I worked at Walmart, same thing. That's life. It's not fair. But as a consumer, I'm just going to consume. And if you're not going to give me something worth consuming, I'm not going to consume. And my thought is, if the people running the ship aren't worth it, it's time to kick them off the ship. And it's time to have someone else steer the ship. That includes the leadership and the devs and everyone. Let's get out of here. Again, I'm not going to feel sorry if people start losing their jobs. It's not my job to put food on your table. It's your job to convince me to give you my money and time. And if it can't do that, that is a you problem, not a me problem. Though technically I like this game and I have Stockholm Syndrome, so it's a both of us problem because I'm still consuming it. I'm just not giving you my money. Anyways, I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor. You let me know what you think down below. Hit the like button. And we're almost to 1.5K subscribers. Appreciate you. I am obviously based on like a week ago, I had a comment saying that I'm begging, and it's very obvious I'm begging. I'm on my knees. I'm Gluck 5000ing my subscribers. Please subscribe. 1.5K. We're almost there. Gluck. I'm sorry. I just can't take comments like that seriously. It's just funny. Hit the like button, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel for more. As always, aim out. Huzzah.